Today, our car tester Emmanuel Schaefer is on beautiful Mallorca. But what is he doing in the forest without a car? He says a bear has been sighted in the vicinity, and it's said to be a Kodiak. Let's see if we can find it. The Kodiak is one of Alaska's largest bear species. Skoda has named its newest model after it. Here it is, 4.7 meters long. The Kodiak is definitely large, bigger than the VW Tiguan or the Seat Ateca. The Kodiak's starting price is 6,000 euros higher than the Ateca's, but it's more than 30 centimeters longer. As in most newer SUVs, the roofline slopes down toward the rear. The sharply defined LED taillights embody sportiness. They're standard equipment. All the engines for the Kodiak are available with all-wheel drive depending on the equipment line. We're testing a car fitted with the DSG automatic transmission and the 2-liter 140-kilowatt diesel engine. Skoda rates the Kodiak's combined fuel consumption at 5.7 liters per 100 kilometers. It accelerates from 0 to 100 in just under 9 seconds. Its top speed is 210 kilometers an hour. Everything has its price, so while the cheapest Kodiak goes for 25,500 euros in Germany, our test car with the top engine costs roughly 40,000 euros. The Kodiak's interior does justice to Skoda's standards. Soft plastic, elegant chrome accents on the instruments, and air vents, and plenty of piano black. The Skoda offers more length and more comfort. Emmanuel says the Kodiak has comfortable seats and plenty of legroom, even compared with some other vehicles its size, a practical feature. Passengers in the back seat can fold down a tray table that locks into several positions. So you can place a tablet on it and watch a movie, read emails, or play games. Unfortunately, if the driver puts his seat back down to a comfortable position, the tray table is no longer level in the top position, so objects with a smooth bottom, like this water bottle, can slide off. The Kodiak is also available as a 7-seater. When the second and third row of seats are folded down, the trunk holds 2,000 liters. Folded up, it holds a mere 270. To take a third row seat, the second row seat is folded down and pushed forward. And how much space do you have in the last row? Emmanuel says the backmost seats are for children or very short trips. So let's get out fast and take the car on the road. The Kodiak offers a choice of 5 different engines, 2 diesels and 3 gasoline-powered. A start-stop system and brake energy recuperation are standard in all of them. Skoda says the Kodiak has off-road capabilities, but Emmanuel says he wants to see for himself. He presses a button to shift to off-road mode. This prepares the suspension, engine management, and brakes for rough terrain, affecting starts, traction, and speed control. In the off-road mode, the hill descent assist helps braking when driving downhill in the rough. 194 millimeters of ground clearance keep the body safely above uneven ground. Emmanuel says the Kodiak does no dishonor to the bear it's named for. It can roam the wilderness for many kilometers, far from paved roads. Of course, the Skoda still can't climb trees, swim, or catch salmon. Not many Porsche drivers ever actually push their wheels to the limits of their driving dynamics or take them onto unknown terrain. They wouldn't want to risk damaging the car. But there is a place where they can cut loose in relative safety: the Porsche Experience Center. It's important to Porsche CEO Oliver Blume to familiarize his customers with the brand as far as possible. This facility offers the opportunity for them to test the cars in extreme conditions or just have fun on the track. The German sports car maker has opened its 5th Experience Center in Los Angeles. Here, their fans can feel like genuine race car drivers. Porsche isn't the only one to profit from these centers. The entire site is seeing changes.
We anticipate this venue being a catalyst for and sparking additional development around it. And we are already seeing that. Land prices around it have already increased, and we are getting incredible interest in other opportunities, including hotels and other entertainment components that would complement this venue.
$300 will get the customer 90 minutes to try out their favorites from Porsche's entire model range, including an instructor riding shotgun. This isn't so much about rounding the track as fast as possible as about refining their driving skills. Porsche's Detlef von Platen muses that as we move farther into a digital world, it will be even more important to experience products like these hands-on. He says they don't just sell cars, they sell memories, moments, and experiences. That's what they do here. Drivers who aren't quite ready for the track can start on the driving simulator and even race against one another. Journalists, in any case, are enjoying the Experience Center concept.
Big toys for big children. It's a very good idea to do it here in California, which is one of the best market for the Porsche brand in the world.
As a California native, I am very biased. I love my state, and I think it's going to be a wonderful thing for our area, because not only are there many, many Porsche owners, all you have to do is drive around and you can see them all over on the freeway, not always moving very fast, but there are a lot of them around. So it's going to be great for, I think, Porsche's brand image and for reinforcing customer loyalty, but also attracting new customers to the brand.
For the opening gala, Porsche pulled out all the stops with a high-speed automotive ballet lit up by a fireworks extravaganza. Experience centers like this are an integral component in Porsche's relations with potential buyers. Wolfgang Porsche says, how else can car buffs who are unfamiliar with the car experience it like this? He hopes it infects them with Porsche fever, so they want to drive one themselves. Joining Le Mans, Silverstone, Leipzig, Atlanta, and Los Angeles, the 6th Porsche Experience Center is due to open in 2017 in China's megalopolis, Shanghai. Ford is bringing the 8th generation of the Fiesta onto the road this year. The gasoline variants have the tried and tested 3-cylinder EcoBoost engines, but now also with 6-speed transmissions. The new generation has a thoroughly revised exterior and new features, including a panorama glass sliding roof and an up to 8-inch multimedia monitor with HD resolution. Ford has not yet announced the exact release date or prices. This coming spring, Mercedes will bring the AMG GTR onto the market. Much of the development time of the street-legal racing car was spent on the Nürburgring racetrack, so the vehicle has real racing sport credentials. The extraordinary driving dynamics of the front mid-engine concept with 430 kilowatts owe a lot to the modified suspension, intelligent lightweight construction, and active rear axle steering. Volkswagen is rolling out the 2nd generation of its Crafter panel van. The wide choice of configurations make it especially attractive to tradespeople of all kinds. The Crafter we tested was a flatbed, or drop side, with a double cab offering space for 7 people. The new Crafter can be had with front, rear, or 4-motion all-wheel drive. The engine in our test van was a 2-liter TDI diesel with 103 kilowatts of power and 340 newton-meters of torque. Fuel consumption is rated at 7.5 liters per 100 kilometers. It lists at 40,885 euros in Germany. Car tester Michelle Assenmacher says the new Crafter feels like a car, and nothing about the interior reminds her she's sitting in a utility vehicle. It has lots of storage space on the dashboard, above, and along the sides. The entire concept has been reworked from start to finish. This Crafter has a gross vehicle weight of 5.5 tons and up to 18.4 cubic meters of cargo volume. Perhaps most appealing feature of the new Crafter is that it can be custom built to the buyer's specifications. Michelle reminds us that besides the flatbed, the Crafter can be had as a panel van, and she'll switch to one to test the drive assists. But first, a couple of points about the design. It comes across as muscular and state-of-the-art. It's no bulky and cumbersome battleship, but more a well-thought-out arrangement of space. Cooperation and consultation with its future drivers has resulted in a functional and flexible new Crafter. The universal wooden flooring comes with special adapters for installing and rearranging various cabinet configurations. The cab takes on the character and comfort of a passenger car's interior with its multi-function steering wheel and the driver's assist systems, which we'll be testing now. Michelle heads for the first station on the test run to try out the park assist. She has to hit 2 switches to tell the Crafter to go in search of a parking space. Once the van's found one, Michelle has to put it in reverse and step on the gas, while the computer takes over the steering. And there are more driver assists for Michelle to check out on the test track. Michelle says it's often hard to see around such a big vehicle, but the new Crafter prevents unsightly dings and scratches. It accomplishes this using a number of sensors positioned all around the vehicle. They recognize objects in hard-to-see places along the sides and in back or in front and send the driver warning signals. After all the tricky maneuvering, Michelle heads out on the open road. This is where the van comes into its own. It's easy and fun to drive. The electromechanical power steering feels nice and adapts to the various engines, equipment packages, and tonnages. Michelle gives it her seal of approval, saying the new Crafter sports a whole range of new assists that make driving it not only safer, but also a lot more comfortable. This BMW M4 is a continuation of BMW's legendary M Sports vehicles. BMW began building these fiery racers some 30 years ago. Now, in its 5th installment, the new M4 is a stunner. It comes with a carbon fiber roof. A real attention getter. Our car tester Ronnie Levstek says BMW is known for luxurious and comfortable vehicles, but they make the legendary M sports cars too. Today, Ronnie will be taking the M4 out for a spin. The M4 has superseded the M3 Coupe, launching a whole new BMW series. Ronnie wants to find out whether this M4 with its 6-cylinder bi-turbo engine is a real BMW M. This Beamer is a serious competitor in its segment. We selected an M4 with an additional €7,300 M performance package, boosting its output to 331 kilowatts and propelling it to 100 kilometers an hour in only 4 seconds. That's almost as fast as the much costlier Porsche Carrera 4S. The M4's overall system has been adjusted to the extra power, and to top it off, there's an M Sports exhaust system. Ronnie says the real highlight of the M4 performance package isn't the delightfully loud exhaust system, but the carbon ceramic brakes. They bring the car to an almost instant standstill, which feels like hitting a wall. For that, you've really got to step on it though. And the brakes need to warm up first, but then they really deliver. However, it's the exhaust system's roar that's most satisfying. For that sound, you don't even have to speed, and yet the vehicle's maximum torque of 550 Newton meters makes it really tempting to press the gas pedal. Ronnie says this M4 is really just an M3 Coupe, and that, in his opinion, the M3 has always been a 6-cylinder engine candidate. BMW first launched the M3 with a 4-cylinder engine. Then they began making 6-cylinder engines, after which they installed V8 engines. Now BMW has returned to their standard bi-turbo 6-cylinder engines. That gives the vehicle a proper boost and increases its torque, transforming this Beamer into a real powerhouse.
Und hat dadurch noch viel mehr an Drehmoment und dadurch unglaubliche Menge Durchzugskraft.
The Racer's interior is fitted with high-end materials and a carbon trim, as if added trim could significantly reduce the car's weight. The competition package even boasts lightweight front seats. Ronnie can't say the M4 is a beast of an automobile, but honestly, it's not exactly sluggish either. Plus, the rear-wheel drive and active limited slip differential make it easy to handle. And this little Goliath F400 car tester Christoph Bauer definitely turns heads. It's the brainchild of a big name in German automotive history, Karl Borgward. He designed a 3-wheel minivan back in 1924. The Blitzkarren had its bed in front of the driver. Christoph says the Goliath F400, by contrast, had its bed behind the driver, following Borgward's principle of load and back, power and back. The Goliath had rear-wheel drive. It was marketed as a quick delivery van, but the vehicle is anything but quick. It has an absolute maximum speed of 50 kilometers per hour, and it seems like it takes forever to reach that. In the 1920s, these cheap little 3-wheelers neatly filled a niche in the market. It put Germany's small tradesmen on wheels. Imitators like Tempo, Rollfix, and Standard quickly followed with minivans of their own, but none could fix the concept's inherent weaknesses. Christoph explains that the three-wheeler's biggest problem is that it tends to tip over when taking a curve too fast. 30 kilometers per hour was enough to land it on its side. Heavy loads and back help somewhat. Also, with such a narrow front, the driver could easily misjudge the width of the rear and end up literally stuck in traffic.
Und so ist manch eines dieser Dreiräder im wahrsten Sinne des Wortes im Verkehr stecken geblieben.
In spite of these minor flaws, the motorized tricycles are still a common sight in the narrow streets of Trentino in northern Italy. Here, the Piaggio Ape has carried on the three-wheeler tradition since 1947. It's hardly any wonder that the three-wheel minivan is so popular south of the Alps. They're ideal for navigating the narrow alleyways typical of Mediterranean old towns and orchards and vineyards. With just 12 horsepower, the Goliath manages the climb up to Pergine Castle. Christoph is impressed by the two-stroke engine strength. The two-cylinder 400 cc's deliver 12 horsepower, and its location under the seat nicely warms the occupants' behinds, and it lowers the center of gravity to minimize the danger of tipping. The competitors weren't always as clever. The Tempo Hanseat, for instance, had its engine right over the front wheel, which made for rather adventurous handling. The Goliath F400 weighs in at just 550 kilos. It's built with only the barest essentials. Minimal design for maximum success. Over 18,000 F400s and F200s were registered in Germany between 1933 and 1937. The F200 was powered by a 6-horsepower single-cylinder two-stroke engine. Both produced a sound as unforgettable as it was typical. Christoph says the little Goliath F400 could haul up to 750 kilograms. That's why coal merchants, bakers, tradesmen, farmers, and many others found it so practical. And several variations were available. The classic flatbed, as here, and the closed panel van that could serve as a mobile shop with pull-down shutters. Or as a livestock carrier, the Goliath swiftly established itself as the market leader in its class. But even with the sensational success of his three-wheeler, Karl Borgward's story did not end well. Christoph says Borgward should have heeded the old saying, "Cobbler, stick to your trade." The three-wheelers made up the lion's share of his success. But he wasn't satisfied to stick with the lowly delivery vans and tried to develop luxury sedans and even a helicopter. But that cost money, and eventually he didn't have enough to keep up production of his bestseller. When, in 1961, the Bremen Senate refused to vouch for a loan he urgently needed, he filed for bankruptcy. That was the end of Borgward and the Goliath. Around 20,000 Borgward employees lost their jobs in one of the largest bankruptcies in German automotive history. What's left is Karl Borgward's legacy in nearly every corner of the world. Christoph explains that even if three-wheel minivans like the Goliath have since vanished from Germany, they can still be found abroad. The thousands and thousands of tuk-tuks all across Asia, for example, or the Ape in Italy, still in production today. He says none of them would exist without the Goliath. It was the first truly reliable and low-priced vehicle for German tradesmen and, in a sense, the ancestor of the VW Golf. He has no doubt the Goliath F400 is a milestone in automotive history. One question remains. Why did Borgward pick the name of an outsized biblical warrior for a minivan? Was it a marketing move, or massive confidence, or just wishful thinking?